Hi everybody, this is Mr. C from Astronomy 4 at De Anza College, and this video is meant to show you how to use this program called Stellarium to study for that extra credit quiz on stars and constellations. We'll do that quiz after the first test. I'm recording this in winter 2011, maybe it's some later quarter now when you're watching this. Hopefully this can be a useful tool to learn how to use this program. So in this video, I'll assume that you have downloaded and installed this program called Stellarium from Stellarium.org. There should be a link on the class webpage. Okay, assuming you've got that installed and running, what you're going to try to do is use this program as a self-quizzer, a way of trying to figure out what stars and constellations you're looking at. As you can see, I'm using my mouse to drag my view of the sky around. We call that panning. We're panning around the sky. And you want to be able to quiz yourself on what's what. Well, basically, it's pretty simple to do that. What you want to do is start by making sure you've got the right settings in place. So you drag your mouse over here, and this little set of preference boxes pops out. So you want to go to Sky and Viewing Options window. In Sky and Viewing Options window, the kinds of things we want to do here is we want to make sure that under Celestial Sphere, everything is turned off except cardinal points. Make sure all of that stuff is unchecked. Make sure it's on stereographic. When we go to markings, and now let's go over to sky, we were at markings a second ago, leave show planets on, but turn all of that stuff off. This stuff here doesn't matter. Show atmosphere is okay. I like to put light pollution at about 3 or 4. A little light pollution, unfortunate though it is in the real world, makes your life a little bit easier for constellations. So I like 3 or 4. Leave all of that stuff off. Shooting stars doesn't matter. Okay, another thing we want to do, star lore, leave that on Western, and we're pretty well set to go. You can see that the way we've got this set, we don't see the name of anything. All we've got are the cardinal points, so we know we're looking south, or in this case, we're looking west. And we can see various stars, planets, things like that. Now, what you want to be able to do is to pan around and turn on the stick figures and the names of the constellations, and then turn them off whenever you want to quiz yourself. So that's pretty easy to do. The two main buttons you need to know are just the C and the V on your keyboard. So I just hit C and V, and these things come up. Hit C and V again, and they go away. If I just hit C, that's constellations. That gives me these stick figures. Hit C again, they turn off. If I hit V, that gives me the constellation names. Hit V again, they turn off. I tend to do both of them at the same time, and I just go CV, and I get my stick figures and my names. CV again, they turn off. If you want to know the names of stars, probably the best way to do it is just to click on the object. So if I click on something, in that case it was a planet Saturn. I used a left mouse button to click and use right mouse button to turn it off. See what happened there? I got fooled by that planet. I said, hey, that's bright, that must be a star, but that's actually a planet. This is the constellation Virgo. It's got kind of a distinctive quadrilateral here. It's got a little thing sticking up that way, little thing sticking up that way, some stuff trailing off the back here. Let's go CV, and we see Virgo. Here, the planet Saturn happened to be located in Virgo, so that fooled us. Here's a bright star, and we're wondering, is that one of the stars I ought to know? It's in the constellation Boötes, the herdsman. Left mouse button click, pow, that's Arcturus. Right mouse button click, that turns off. Here's the constellation Leo, CV to turn everything off. It's got this nice backwards question mark. That goes back to a triangle back here, CV, CV. I wonder what star that is. I wonder if that could be Regulus. Left click, boom. Right click, turn that off. So this is how we can figure these kinds of things out. We can just left click to get a name of a star or planet, right click, turn that off, CV to get stick figures and constellation names, CV to turn them off. So basically you just want to pan around, set the thing for the places and the dates and times that I've specified on that web page, and just quiz yourself. Just kill time on the computer doing this. Eventually, you'll get to recognize a lot of this stuff. Here's the Big Dipper, looks upside down at this particular time of year, April 3rd. But there's more to this constellation. Here's the Big Dipper. That's part of Ursa Major. It's got some stuff that comes out here to a little nose. That's the nose of the bear. There's a leg here. Notice the bear's upside down right now. Comes out to a paw there. Another leg comes like this to a paw there. Eventually this pattern will become familiar. Just do CV, and there's the pattern in the name. CV to turn it off again. Just messing around like this and quizzing yourself is basically how this works. Over here we see the constellation Gemini, Castor, Pollux, and we can see the twins. Now if I want to zoom in, I'm using my scroll wheel. I find that a zoom of around 60 or 70 degrees is pretty good. So here I can see the constellation Gemini. I've got the head of one twin, head of another twin, body comes down this way, one leg, another leg, arm sticking out there, arm sticking back here. Here's the other twin, body comes down like that, one leg goes there, the other leg goes there, one arm out here, another arm there. They're holding hands. CV, there's Gemini. CV again, we turn that off. So just keep doing that and you'll quiz yourself. Now you want to make sure to carefully read the web page because there are two locations you want to use. Most of these things are going to be northern hemisphere, but you're going to want to hit location window to go to the southern hemisphere. And eventually you'll go down on this list and pick Sydney, Australia. You can also set times, and here you go to date time window. For example, if we want to go to Northern Hemisphere winter, that's going to be 2011, January 3rd. So we'd want to take that down to January 3rd at 10 p.m. That's 22 o'clock. That's like 24-hour or military time. So here's our Northern Hemisphere winter. We've set that for 2011, January 3rd at 22 o'clock. That's 10 p.m. So again, we're just panning around using C and V to turn on constellation stick figures and names, C and V to turn that off. Left mouse button clicking on things to get their names of stars, right mouse button clicking to turn that off. And watch out for planets. That's basically how this works. If you've got time to kill, if you can install this on a computer that you look at pretty often, just do this while you're watching TV, do it over breakfast, just whenever you're feeling like killing a little time learning the constellations. You can learn constellations and stars. Start with the easy ones, work your way toward the harder ones, and don't knock yourself out trying to learn the really crazy obscure ones. There's a whole lot of obscure ones. I'll throw one or two of them on the quiz, but it's not going to count for a lot of extra credit points. So like over here, for example, you got Monoceros the unicorn. Yeah, it's there, but not a lot of people know that one off the top of their head. You got things like this thing down here, Sextans the sextant. That's a navigational device used by sailors in the olden days. How many people know sextans is down there? Not many. If you really feel like knocking yourself out to learn all of them, go for it. But I'd go down the list in the order that I've listed them, from easy to hard, and just go as far as you can and see what you get. So again, CV, CV. It's all about CV. Okay, hopefully that'll work for you. Hopefully you have fun learning constellations and stars, and you can use that to try to pick up some extra credit on that quiz after the first test.